All right, what's going on, ladies, gentlemen, and those who are confused? Today, I want to talk about my thoughts on the AK12 in competitive play. Now, I was actually going to upload this video a few days earlier, but now as you're listening to this, I had just realized that Drifter actually uploaded a video on this. I don't know when this is going to go up, so it might have been, a few days ago that Drifter uploaded it, but he was actually talking about this exact same topic. And I went back and watched my video and realized that it was a little outdated, I guess, at that point. There's some stats that Drifter brought up in his video that were pretty relevant to what I wanted to talk about today, so I figured I'd redo the commentary and talk a little bit about what he was saying in his video. So first off, I want to talk about just how the gun itself kind of feels, not necessarily stat driven content, but just my experience with it in the past few days that I've been using it, and just how I think it feels. So it's definitely like laser beam ish. It feels like it doesn't kick nearly as much as, like, especially in comparison to the bow, but just in comparison to many of the assault rifles in this game, it feels like you don't have to control the recoil very much, so that's definitely a plus. And also, it does fire faster. I know that this is a stat, but it does fire faster too, which is kind of weird that it doesn't kick as much, but it also fires faster than the bow. So keep that in mind. For me, it seems smoother to strafe with, not in terms of like aiming down the sight quickly. Like, you need quick draw on it, obviously, but I don't know, when I'm strafing with it, it just feels kind of like smoother and faster than it does with the bow. Like, the bow seems kind of sluggish in comparison to it to me. And it's definitely doesn't feel as powerful up close in terms of hip fire and in terms of like how fast it kills people at close range, and that actually is based in stats too, which I'll talk about now. The range is actually really similar with both guns, but the bow can deal a 3-shot kill up close, which is why the AK12 obviously feels a little weaker than the bow does up close. The bow can deal a 3-hit kill within like shotgun range. I think it's about 5 meters or so. So it's basically, right up close and personal with people, and but it's something to think about, because that happens a lot in this game where people are right up in your grill, like if they're, boosting towards you and whatnot. So that's something that's important to note. And then Drifter actually made a really good point in his video about stuns. They actually deal 1 damage, and I can't even remember if I knew that or not, but yeah, stuns deal 1 damage. And the interesting thing about that is actually at a medium range, the bow will kill somebody who's been hit by a stun, because it deals 33 damage at mid-range. So it'll kill someone who's been hit by a stun in 3 bullets, because they'll be at 99 health, and it does 33 damage a shot. So do the math there, and that would equal 100 damage points. Whereas the AK, it'll still deal a 4 bullet kill after someone's been hit with a stun. So it's actually kind of interesting that if you're going to use a bow, you should probably also you should at least use grenades and stuns with it. Stuns, in my opinion, probably are more useful, just because they'll give people that 1 damage at a bigger range, I'm fairly sure. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's right. So in that sense, the bow could actually be a lot better to use. And then in terms of more stuff about the AK12, I just wanted to talk about the G variant of it. And I think I'm using the feeder version in this gameplay. And unfortunately, I'm not actually sure if the AK12G version is a variant in itself, or if it can be applied to all the variants, because you'll notice that this has the G iron sight on it, but it's actually the feeder. And it's just the one that has 33 bullets in the mag, and I'm using it in ranked because you can still use that shit in ranked, and that's kind of ridiculous. But I'm not sure if the G applies to all of the variants that you have, or if the feeder just has the same irons as the G. If somebody could clear that up for me, that'd be great, because I'm not actually sure. But overall, I'm starting to use the AK-12 more than the bow, and I'm really liking it. I just like how it feels. I know it's not statistically much better than the bow in any way, but it's just, I think it's good on bigger maps, especially like ones like Retreat here, or maybe Solar even. It's just maps with big sight lines, right? So those are my general thoughts on the AK-12. I know I've been uploading a lot of videos not talking about the gameplay. This is just a ranked play match that it was actually pretty close down to the wire here at the end, and we end up losing, unfortunately. But I dropped, like, I think 39 kills or something, which is pretty cool. So Yeah, I think that's about all I want to say for today. Stick around for the last few seconds of the video and check out the video that pops up on the screen if you haven't seen that one yet. But yeah, that's all I want to say for today, guys. I will talk to you later.
Hardpoint contested. Hardpoint contested.